The evening has come, and the stars are shining in the sky. That means it's time to hear a bedtime story.
Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, in a distant little village, there lived a sweet and charming girl. Her mother and grandmother loved her dearly. Her grandmother had sewn her a red hood, and it suited the girl so perfectly that everyone began to call her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother baked a whole tray of pies and said to her daughter, "Little Red Riding Hood, your grandmother is ill. Would you take her some pies and a small pot of freshly churned butter?" Little Red Riding Hood rose at once and set off to her grandmother's house. Her grandmother lived in another village, beyond a dense and wild forest. As she was passing through the forest, she met a wolf. The wolf would have eaten her right away, but he was afraid, for woodcutters were working nearby. So he devised a plan. "Where are you going, my little one?" asked the wolf. "To visit my grandmother," said Little Red Riding Hood. "In bringing her a pot of fresh churned butter and some pies. And is it far you have to go?" The wolf asked. "A long way," Little Red Riding Hood replied. "Her house is quite far from here, the first one on the other side of the forest." "I should like to visit your grandmother as well," said the cunning wolf. "I will take this path, and you take the other. Let us see who gets there first." The wolf dashed away along the shortest path, while Little Red Riding Hood went down the longer one. She gathered flowers, sang cheerful songs, and played with beautiful butterflies. Meanwhile, the wolf reached the grandmother's house. He knocked twice on the door. "Who is it?" asked the grandmother. "It is I, Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf in a girl's voice. "I've brought you some pies and a pot of freshly churned butter." Grandmother was lying in bed, for she was ill. "Open the door and come in," she called. The wolf burst into the room. He had not eaten for 3 days and was terribly hungry. He swallowed the grandmother in an instant. Then he put on her nightgown, climbed into her bed, and waited for Little Red Riding Hood, who soon arrived and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" asked the wolf, trying to imitate the grandmother's voice. His voice was hoarse, but Little Red Riding Hood thought her grandmother's throat must be sore. "It is I, Little Red Riding Hood," she said. "I've brought you some pies and a pot of freshly churned butter." "Open the door and come in," said the wolf as sweetly as he could. He pulled the blanket up to his very eyes. "Set your basket on the table and come closer," said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood stepped nearer. She said, "Grandmother, what long arms you have." "All the better to embrace you with, my dear," said the wolf. "Grandmother, what long ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my dear." "Grandmother, what big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with, my dear." "Grandmother, what great teeth you have." "All the better to eat you with," growled the wolf, and he swallowed Little Red Riding Hood. He let out such a terrible roar in his dreadful wolf voice that the woodcutters heard him. They rushed into the house with their axes. One mighty swing, and the wolf was no more. At once, Grandmother and Little Red Riding Hood crawled out of his belly, alive and unharmed. They buried the wolf in the forest and invited the woodcutters in for tea. For tea, they served delicious pies with fresh churned butter.
And that's the end of our story. Sleep tight, may your night be peaceful, and your dreams bright and full of happiness.